Hi, it's week 3. Canada of Joy with Missionary Paula once again. I am here this week to talk about encouraging one another and, if necessary, encourage yourself. Sometimes we have to do that. There's not always somebody there for us to talk to. Sometimes even our pastor is not available. Pastor might be busy ministering to someone else at that time. You just never know. So you should always, have a plan to encourage yourself if there is no one there that you can talk to, and encourage one another. And whatever might be going on, whether a person is going through health issues, a person could be going through financial issues, person could be going through divorce, whatever the case may be. We can always come together on one accord, like-minded, together, touching and agreeing, and we just support one another, encourage one another. There's too many of us fighting one another and trying to be better than one another, and there's just no time for that. We need to get real, and we need to get with God. So what would God have us to do? God would have us to show love to one another, and we show that love by supporting one another the best that we can. So if someone needs some encouragement, encouragement doesn't cost a thing. It might cost you a little bit of your time, but you don't have to shell out any money. You just need to take a few minutes and probably hear somebody out, and maybe say a few encouraging words. Depending on the situation, you need to know when to listen and when to speak, and that is the most encouraging thing that we can do for someone. Now, in a situation where a person is in need of finances, if it's something that we have and we are in position to do something, and God touches our hearts, of course, we can at that point support that person in that aspect. But basically what I'm talking about is just being there for one another, encouraging one another through rough times. And it's good to also encourage one another through good times. You don't have to wait for something bad to happen, but we can just be there for one another every single day, every single week. However, some of us are just associated, some of us are close. So however often we may see each other or talk to one another, we can just always be encouraging and always say positive things and not speaking negative things. And that really does help. I like to read Psalms when I'm in real need of encouragement and there's no one for me to talk to. On my website, the blog, missionarypaula.wordpress.com, I have listed several Psalms that you can look up and read, and you read them out loud and read them boldly. And I like to do it walking around, and I don't know, when I read Psalms, I just can't sit still. I could start out sitting, but eventually I will get up and I'll start walking around as I'm reading, and that really helps. But what really helps me most, I think, is when I'm listening to gospel music, especially if it's on Pandora, because Pandora, I don't select the music that's played. It just plays randomly. And I don't believe there has been one time when the songs that played were songs that I needed to hear when I needed to hear them. I needed to hear those particular words in the song at at that particular moment because of what I was going through. So, those are the two best ways that I know, to encourage myself, and I believe they'll work for you too. So that's why I just wanted to talk to you about encouraging yourself as well, because sometimes people that we talk to just are not always available for us. And also one other thing is, I just want to let you know that regardless of what you may have done, even what you may be doing right now, God still loves you. If you're someone who has addiction issues, whether it be alcohol, whether it be drugs, whether you sell your body, whether you have stolen, if you have been abused, if you have been raped and molested, whatever your struggle might be, God still loves you. So what you can do is just give yourself to Him freely and allow Him to minister to you. Like I said, if you read the Psalms, if you listen to the music, it'll minister to your heart. It'll minister to your spirit. And when it gets on into your heart and spirit, you will have such an amazing experience that you wouldn't believe. And I can testify to that because that's what I do. That's what works for me. So, that's why I recommend, these two things, because I'm sure if they work for me, they'll work for you too. And the whole thing is, can't always wait for Sunday. Because, Sunday, that's a long stretch between, the following week. Something happens on Monday, what do you do? I mean, some churches just, you're there on Wednesday, and maybe you work on Wednesday nights. A lot of times people work in the evening, they can't make the Bible study or prayer, and the whole thing is that you gotta wait all the way till Sunday. Don't wait till Sunday. Have your little praise and worship session at home. Pray at home. The same things you do in church, you can do at home between you and God. You can pray anywhere. You can pray in your car. You can pray while you're walking up and down the street. I was praying one day, walking to the bus stop some years ago, and I was really upset about my situation. We had just returned to New Jersey, and God was just letting me know that not to worry. And he began with some encouraging words, letting me know that if I was faithful to Him, that He was going to bless me. And He encouraged me, as a matter of fact, to continue in my writing. So that that day was the biggest thing for me, because I wasn't really sure which way to go, and God was showing me that my writing was my strength. My writing was my blessing. And let me tell you, writing the book was a blessing for me spiritually. I have grown so much. I have learned so much about myself, about my faults. God showed me so many things, and I'm so glad that I wrote the book, and I'm so glad that I've written the second one and starting the third. So, and this is a series. So, I just look forward to all of this, and talking with all of you continually. And God, like I said, God is just awesome. And that day that I was walking to the bus stop, I was just praising Him, and people were looking at me, and I didn't care. And it wasn't the first time. Well, actually, that was the first time, but there have been a few other occasions as well. But you just get into a certain I don't know. You just get close to God like that. You don't care who's looking. You don't care who's watching. So I just want to encourage you to continue seeking God. Encourage yourself. He loves you. And you can take that to the bank. You can trust that. He loves you and he will never leave you. So till next time, God bless.